Hey everybody, welcome to the third eye chakra. I hope that you've been enjoying this little series that I've put on. I have so much more content available. Just pop down to the link below the store and you can find specific energy center videos, discussion, ebook, beautifully demonstrated, put together. So if you find like one of these energy centers is really speaking to you, pop over to that store. It's super affordable. You can just download. You will have the access to it forever. It's a beautiful ebook and it comes with ways that you can balance them using crystals, essential oils, and you get a yoga practice included in that. So it's a great way to kind of put it all together if something's making sense or you want more information. So let's talk about the third eye today. This one is located between the brow. The color of this one is known to be indigo. So it's, the throat is blue, and as we move up that beautiful ladder, we get into the more purples and blues. So indigo is like a beautiful blend of purple and blue kind of fused together. This one has everything to do with visualization, dreams, memories. It's our ability to tap into that inner knowing. And so you might hear like, people will say that the physical eyes are not what we actually see. It's what we intuitively see, what we know. And so the affirmation for this one is I see. It's the third eye. It's the one where if we shut off the interpretation of what our visual, physical eyes are seeing, and we just look through situations through the third eye, we can see and we know, like there's an intuition there and things look different. Okay, so kind of getting into this sort of vague and ambiguous type learning, but what we want to know about the third eye is when we actually physically kind of shut off the physical eyes, we know. We absolutely know. We know, and so then that correlates to that third energy center, like I know, and so now I need to act on that knowing. Like the third is where we have that gut instinct, and the sixth is where we have the knowing. So when this one is out of balance, you're gonna have either this buzzing, constant chatter in your brain that you just can't shut off, just a constant flood of thought. When this one is a little deficient or not quite open, you have a really hard time with memory. You have a hard time pulling up actual words that you want to use. You have a hard time recalling things. It's just like you're foggy up there. When it's balanced, you feel like what you see and visualize for your life is coming to fruition. It all comes together. There is a linking that comes together. There's an absolute knowing. You are not wishy-washy at all. You're able to make decisions. Again, coming from the gut instinct to the third eye, they work very closely together. And when one of them is off, then we have those indecisions and that indecisiveness that can come up, especially in the third. But the sixth is really important. Ways that I find balancing it, and this is just such a simple thing. Like whenever we have an uncertainty, we get bad news, we get something that rattles us, the majority of us, whether we realize it or not, we go, oh man. Well, what we're doing is we're activating the third eye. We are activating that sixth energy center. We are confused. We're like, oh, I'm not sure. We're activating it. And we don't even realize we're doing it, but now you know. Now you know that when you're doing this, you're trying to get this center in your body to be more open. So anytime we feel like there's too much thoughts, we're wishy-washy with decisions, we're uncertain, if we just put our fingers here, close our physical eyes and just put your fingers there and push a little bit, maybe circle your fingers around that third eye and visualize the color indigo, that deep, dark, bluish purple. Affirmation for this one is I see. The element for this one is light. So here's what's really cool is when we're looking at a yoga practice or meditation, both, when we shut the eyes, it instinctively, immediately locks us inward. And that's what we're looking for when we're looking at the third eye. We want to shut off everything else and really hone into our intuition. When this one is in a great place, we even have those those moments in our life where we think about somebody, oh, I haven't, heard from so and so in so long, and then they call, you're tapped in. When you see something like in your mind's eye, third eye, and the next thing you know, you're looking at it, that you have tapped in, you are in the flow of the third eye, and it's really kind of fun. Now, of course, I believe we are all gifted with these abilities. We just have our brain shut off, that's witchery or that's nonsense or whatever. But I do think we all have a strong intuition, but we try to rationalize our life with using our cognitive brain. And I think if we tapped more into our third eye and into that energy center, our lives would actually be a lot happier and better and more productive and more successful, because we don't have that mental block coming in. So crystals that I love for this one, anything blue, dark blue, like sodalite was that fifth energy center, the throat. I like purples for this, so amethyst is great. Lapis lazuli is known to really invite intuition. You might see a lot of people wearing lapis here or on their finger. This one really helps to hone into that intuition. And amethyst is just such a enlightened crystal. It's just a high vibrating crystal. It's wonderful to have. So here's a little purple crystal, isn't it beautiful? So I have them all over, so lapis lazuli or amethyst would be my first choice. Now, essential oils to balance and open the third eye would be clary sage is probably one of my favorites to go to as far as intuition and dreams and sort of just tapping into that vividness that is here. Juniper berry is another essential oil that I love, especially if you're having trouble recalling dreams or your dreams are too much. This one is a very good harmonizer of dreams. So it really helps us to just kind of balance out what's going on up here in this energy center. If you have children and they have night terrors, juniper berry is a great choice to help lessen those night terrors. I love helichrysum, which is a tiny, tiny little tiny flower. I love helichrysum because it activates the right brain and it helps us to just have more of an openness to the intuition that's available to us. We all have it. It's a good one, and it smells so sweet and so divine. I love marjoram, which you think of marjoram as something that you cook with. In this realm, marjoram is also a great muscle relaxer. And so if we think about it in the third eye, we're relaxing the thoughts and bringing about an intuition, relaxing the chatter, bringing about the knowing. And then I also love rosemary, another herb. But rosemary is used to clear thoughts. So it eliminates some of those just distracting, buzzing thoughts and hones into a more focus. So if you have somebody who has trouble focusing, rosemary is actually a great choice to bring in more linear, quiet the chatter and zone in. So those are the oils that I love. And then for a yoga practice, I encourage you to close your eyes. Let go of the physical eyeball, close it up, and really tune into what the body is saying and speaking to you. I always say your body speaks their own language, but we have to listen. And so if we're practicing with our eyes open, we're distracted by, oh, I have a hangnail on my finger, or, ooh, this one really hurts, or that person's doing it better than me, or, oh, there's a squirrel outside. But when we close our eyes, we're actually tapping in to the intuition. And I have sort of coined myself as a yoga teacher who teaches a sensation-based practice, because I encourage you to close your eyes and feel the sensation rather than be thinking, what's the pose supposed to look like? It's not supposed to look anyway. You are supposed to feel your body. So I would definitely practice with eyes closed. I would practice visualization. So having that meditation time and visualizing the life that you want, maybe it's health, happiness, love, abundance, prosperity, success, clarity, peacefulness, and visualizing it, seeing it down to the details. Close your physical eyes and activate the third eye, exactly the life that you want to create. Now, I have personally experienced this in my life, and sometimes I'm just like, I can't believe this really works, but it does. So when my daughter was young, very young, and it was determined that she was developmentally disabled, I started to visualize a life with her as an adult that we would share a backyard. She would have a space and I would have a space, and we would share a backyard. I visualized a dog. I visualized what that would look like. I didn't have it down to like exact location or buildings, but I just knew that I visualized the feeling of what that would feel like to have her be an as independent adult as possible, and we share a backyard. And so fast forward 28 years, we now have a home that we share a backyard. I saw it, I believed it, I felt it, I visualized it, I spent a lot of time seeing it in my mind's eye, and here it is. So it does work. You know, I believe that if you, like anything, it is a practice. You can't just think and visualize one day and then give up and say, well, that didn't happen. So it's something that you practice and work at. When you're in a yoga practice and you're working on activating the third eye and your eyes are closed, it is also really important to take time to make sure that your forehead is touching a yoga block or the floor throughout your practice. So coming into child's pose and allowing the floor to be here, or stacking your fists and allowing your head to rest there in a child's pose, or perhaps a forward fold, stacking up blocks, stacking up fists so that you can put pressure here, because remember, we're not sure, we grab our forehead. So we practice that in the yoga space, activating. If you're practicing in a chair, sitting in a chair like I am and stacking your yoga blocks, stacking your fists, pressing your forehead down, quieting down is such a great thing. So that's how I would guide you through a yoga practice. If you want more, pop down below, go visit my little storefront. They're all beautifully curated digital downloads for every energy center, and if one of these is speaking to you, highly recommend it. If you have questions too, just comment below. I'm happy to have a conversation with you. If you're not sure and you want more information and you just want to have a conversation, just reach out to me. Happy to talk to you about it. All right, have a beautiful rest of your day. Look for the color indigo. Think about your dreams, your visualizations, your memories. If you find yourself too much in the future, what if, quiet down the chatter, close your eyes, press into your forehead, and then listen. Affirmation for this one is I see, because you already do. You already know. You already know. If you're faced with a dilemma, a circumstance in your life that you're unsure of, close your eyes, tap into this, ask the question, because you already know. You already know. All right, I'll see you soon. We have one more to go, and then we got the whole thing, and I'm going to put a whole entire little ditty together that covers them all. But we got one more single one, crown chakra, coming up next. All right, have a great day. Bye.